Welcome to Owensboro Board of Commissioners regular meeting, May the 3rd, 2022. At this time, I'll ask our city clerk, Ms. Beth Davis, to please call the roll.
Commissioner Jeff Sanford.
Here.
Commissioner Mark Caslen.
Here.
Mayor Tom Watson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Larry Maglinger.
Here.
Commissioner Bob Glenn.
Here.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the invocation and the pledge. We'll ask Commissioner Bob Glenn to present. Please stand.
Please pray or meditate as is your preference. Dear Heavenly Father, we come together tonight as a deliberative body to make decisions in the good and proper future of this wonderful city on a river. We thank you for the blessings of the virus slowly dissipating and moving away so that this weekend we can have over 60 teams participate in a volleyball tournament at our convention center, and many other people can visit our city. They can also visit our state, as this is Derby weekend, one of the greatest weekends in Kentucky history as we celebrate the greatest 2 minutes in horse racing. Lord, we also want to thank you and bless you for our great city employees, our fire, our police, our 911 dispatchers, our public works, and all of those who make this city hum and move forward. And Lord, we want to be a transformative body. Help us transform moments of fear into courage, darkness into light, and weakness into strength. Lord, help this body to make good decisions in your name. In Jesus' name and well, amen. Amen. And now the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. The next item on the agenda is 4A, Friday After 5 presentation and season update. Francine Marcelo, Executive Director, please go to the podium, state your name and address for the record, please. And pull that mic down so you can reach it.
I grew 2 inches. Francine Marseille, Executive Director, Friday After 5, 1204 Parkview Drive in Owensboro, 42301. Here it is. Okay. A little nervous. I think I can do this. Are we? I had a little video. There it is, but it's the wrong one. Okay. We're just trying to get it to start the video. It won't start. Friday After 5 is where the weekend begins. No, thank you. It is where the weekend begins, and we are proudly holding that for 26 years. This is our 26th year. The Picture This, we're so happy to be a part of the Picture This season. But guess what? Picture This, we've moved. We've moved west, and we're very happy and proud, and we hope you all join us as we go from Frederica down to the Holiday Inn with our new main stage at the Holiday Inn. So we're excited that our vendors and street fair, we have more this year than we have had in years that are trying to come on board. And we're so excited because we also have McConnell Plaza now, which is Atmos Amphitheater. And so we'll have some vendors out there. We'll have music out there. We'll have events out there. We have the 5K out there to move forward this year. We're really thrilled to be a part of all of our wonderful sponsors. We have some special events that will be taking place over at the Bluegrass Museum. We've got First Fridays, our Christian music series that will be the first Friday of each month. And we have a great listing. We're working directly with Bluegrass. They've done a fabulous job. We have baseball and softball parades, which I think our mayor will be singing again. And then we do have some other wonderful things like Glenn's Gospel on the River is now Glenn's Spirit on the River. And we're going to still hold some of that great gospel, some of our local parishioners, and have them come and sing. And we're going to be working with First Baptist Church. So we're really, really excited. So there's a little map. The map will be on Friday After Five's Facebook, and it will be on our website, and we're thrilled. But what I really want to say is what Friday After Five is up to. We're causing all kinds of trouble this year. We're all about inclusion. We want Friday After Five to be about developing partnerships here in town. We're bringing our community together. We're helping our tourism to where we're developing events to where with our CVB and our hotels, people are coming in and they're coming in Fridays, getting a hotel room, staying with us for Saturdays, our new Saturdays at the Still with the Green River Distillery. Really excited to be a part of that. That's an afternoon thing. So you can come with your kids, 11 to 3, music, food trucks, games, face painters, balloons, you name it, we're doing it. And we want it family friendly. And so we're really happy to be partnering with them on the first Saturdays of each month. And we're even partnering with the United Way of Ohio Valley. And we are excited to say we're bringing in Blanco Brown. Now, some of you go say, who's Blanco Brown? And he was #1 for many, 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 many weeks. And we challenge each and every one of you to do this. Yeah, it's the starting of the video. Well, it's a really cute little video, and it's short, and I'm sorry, Nate, for going over time now. No, it went backwards. There it is.
Right now, I just need you to get real loose. Get comfortable. Grab your loved ones, or grab your love partner. And if you're by yourself, no worries. Just follow after me. Yeah!
So I challenge each and every one of you to become part of the Get Up Challenge. Everybody can do it. There's all kinds of categories, and the winners get to open for Blanco Brown on stage live. So we're going to have some fun about making a difference for our nonprofits right here in Owensboro, in Davis County, and hoping we can do that. And there it goes. Remember, our season is May 20th. It's coming up through September 2nd. We have so many, the motels and Bow Wow Wow and Cafe Anderson and who's at the Opryland today. We have so many wonderful talents coming out, and our first night is City Night, so we hope you all get to join us there. And the Beatles Rock Show will be taking place, so we're excited. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and don't forget to download that free app on your phone so you can follow the schedule. And I thank you for your time.
Good thing she doesn't have any energy at all, so we're glad to have you back in Owensboro. Thank you very much for your talents. Was she fast enough, City Manager?
Oh, she's great.
Okay.
Don't get as much time as you needed or wanted.
Then one of you lied to me. I don't know which one it was.
I've got it in writing.
Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda is a proclamation I'd like to read. It's the City of Owensboro, all our retirees, all our employees. We present this proclamation. Whereas the Office of Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of our local government, exists throughout the world. Whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the Office of Professional Municipal Clerk provides a professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas the professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. And whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community. Whereas the professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the Office of Professional Municipal Clerk through participation in education, programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organization. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishment of the Office of Professional Municipal Clerk. Now therefore, I, Thomas Hart Watson, Mayor of the City of Owensboro, do hereby proclaim May 1 through 7, 2022 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week in the City of Owensboro, and further extend appreciation to our municipal clerk, Beth Davis, and to all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the community they serve. Signed and sealed this 3rd day of May 2021. So let's hear it for Beth Davis. And we're all going to go out and get a picture with her. Come on, guys.
Now I know how it feels to be in the hot seat. Okay, thank you. I'm going to make this very short and sweet and just say every day is an adventure, and you never know what you're going to get into. That's all I've got.
Dated April the 19th, 2022, April 21, 2022. I'll make a motion to approve. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Any? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 5B, consider board appointments. The Owensboro Historic Preservation Board, reappoint Catherine Burlew to a 3-year term effective May 17, 2022. I'll make a motion to approve. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 6, the ordinance is second reading. We do not have any. Item 7, ordinance is first reading. No vote. Item 7A, Ms. Davis, do your municipal clerk thing.
The list was way too long to get into, so I had to make it short and sweet. Ordinance 7-2022, an ordinance amending the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2021, and ending June 30, 2022, and amending ordinance 7-2021 to appropriate ARPA funds, provide for additional appropriations in various areas, and to establish budget for police funds. Introduced and publicly read on first reading this third day of May 2022.
Thank you. There will be no vote. City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
As the clerk said, this is first reading of an ordinance amending the budget for our current year, the 21-22 fiscal year that ends June 30th. Prior to the end of most fiscal years, we present a cleanup budget amendment for various items, which this year includes the following elements. Appropriate ARPA funds for the York Drainage Project. Send the other ARPA funds to the general fund, and then appropriate funding for OMU and the Cravens Pool repairs and improvements. As discussed last month, $2.5 million will remain unappropriated for future use at your discretion. Additional funding for overtime and fuel for the fire department. The overtime was necessary to maintain our minimum staffing standards. Extra funds for the recreation fund due to revenue shortfalls at the Edge Ice Arena while it was closed due to COVID. Funds for overages in fuel and utilities in the Parks Department. Because of timing in the current fiscal year, we will make 2 payments for our periodic aerial photography that GIS manager Will Carpenter referenced during the budget work session 2 weeks ago. To reflect additional revenue and expenses in the public events budget related to the air show. The new revenues exceed expenses, so this is a net gain for the general fund. Funding for soundproofing improvements at the Bluegrass Museum. And finally, at the advice of the auditor, we're including various restricted police funds, including funds for secondary employment, the Explorers Program, juvenile diversion, DARE, and Camp Cops. These funds are not a general fund item, so therefore they have no impact on the general fund.
Thank you. Any discussion from the commission? Okay, thank you. Ms. Davis, 7B, please.
Ordinance 8-2022, an ordinance adopting and approving the annual budget of the City of Owensboro, Kentucky for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2022 and ending June 30, 2023, and appropriating the revenues to the various departments of the city as set forth herein. Introduced and publicly read on first reading this third day of May 2022.
Thank you. City Manager, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. This is first reading of an ordinance adopting the city's next fiscal year, the 22-23 fiscal year budget. There are no changes to the draft budget that was provided at the beginning of April, discussed in the videos that were distributed for your review, and presented in detail to the Board of Commissioners and the public 2 weeks ago. Accordingly, the budget includes no changes to the city's tax rates. The general fund, our main operating fund, is balanced. We prioritized our employees and provided sizable cost of living increases for all employees and for police officers in particular. Investments are made in public safety, such as providing investigative equipment and assets at the training facility for the police department, and investments to improve water rescue and search and rescue training and equipment for the fire department. Infrastructure spending is also a priority in the budget, which includes a record amount for asphalt resurfacing. Key initiatives in the budget include cybersecurity efforts, new sprinkler system for the golf course at Ben Halls, enhancements to Moneta Sleet Junior Park, and initiating a new master plan for the Parks Department. This 22-23 fiscal year budget addresses items mentioned by you, the commissioners and mayor, over the last several months, while staying within the resources and revenue we have available. I'd like to thank the finance staff, department heads, and managers who spend countless hours compiling and reviewing these documents to get this finished.
Thank you. Any discussion from the commission? Hearing none, okay. Ms. Davis, item 7C, please.
Ordinance 9-2022, an ordinance establishing the compensation of city employees and non-elected city officers in accordance with a personnel and pay classification plan as required by KRS 83A.070, introduced and publicly read on first reading this third day of May 2022.
Thank you. City Manager, please.
State law requires that we adopt our pay plan by ordinance, so this is first reading of an ordinance adopting our pay charts for the 22-23 fiscal year. In that regard, it is a companion to the budget, and the changes to the pay chart for the next fiscal year reflect the changes discussed in the budget videos and at the budget work session, which are mainly the cost of living increases and a handful of other adjustments, such as the adjustments for transit drivers that we discussed.
Thank you. Any discussion from the commission? Hearing none. Ms. Davis, 7D, please.
Ordinance 10-2022, an ordinance repealing and replacing Ordinance 8-2005 with an ordinance creating and establishing for bid a non-exclusive telecommunications or related non-cable franchise for the placement of facilities for the generation, transmission, distribution, and sale of telecommunications or related non-cable services within the public rights-of-way of City of Owensboro for a 10-year duration, and providing for compliance with other relevant laws, regulations, standards, and ordinances, definitions, work materials and construction standards, wire moving and tree trimming, performance bonds, indemnification, insurance, access to property and inspections, notice of filings with the Public Service Commission, no vested rights, limited assignment, notice of foreclosure and bankruptcy, cancellation or termination, violations and penalties, permitting and inspection fees, additional permitting and other requirements for substantial new construction and bid requirements, all effective on date of passage, introduced and publicly read on first reading this third day of May 2022.
City Manager, unpack that, will you?
I will, and then I'll actually defer to our city attorney, but the state constitution requires the city to have franchise agreements with companies who use city right-of-way for their business. So, for example, the city has franchise agreements with Spectrum and Atmos who use city right-of-way for their infrastructure. Assistant City Manager Leland Hancock and City Attorney Mark Pfeiffer have worked for months on this ordinance, and Mark will present this item to the commission.
Thank
Counsel?
you. Yeah, thank you, Nate. This replaces a prior ordinance from 2005. There's been quite a bit of change in the law since that time that necessitated a new ordinance. One of the changes is that you now have, I think, a 1.3% tax on gross revenues of telecom companies, and the city can opt to accept those in lieu of franchise fees. And so we are participating in that state pool rather than impose a separate franchise fee. It was deemed that it would be slightly financially beneficial to the city to do so. This basically covers everything that would be involved in internet or data transmission. It doesn't affect cable, it doesn't affect satellite TV or radio or TV broadcasting, and it covers all operations of a franchise except for pole location, which a franchisee is going to have to work with OMU on obtaining separate pole location agreements. There are various financial requirements. There's an application fee of $5,000. And then if a bid is awarded, then a company would have to post a performance bond and or a letter of credit. Unless the time period is extended by the commission, then any successful bid that we award, that company will have to have telecommunications services available in the city within 1 year.
Anybody else want to jump in on that one? Okay. Thank you,
Thank you.
council. I guess we'll go to municipal orders, Ms. Davis.
Municipal Order 15-2022, a municipal order approving the 2022-2023 Annual Action Plan for Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership Funds prepared by the Community Development Department and authorizing and directing the mayor to execute same, introduced and publicly read for approval on one reading this third day of May 2022.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve this. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
City Manager, do you have any thoughts?
I do, Mayor, thank you. The annual action plan is a document mandated by... Thank you. The annual action plan is a document mandated by U.S. Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, that outlines local affordable housing and community development needs, identifies strategies for addressing them. The plan identifies the activities that the city expects to undertake through direct action or through the provision of funding to other entities. In addition to outlining housing and community development strategies, the annual action plan includes the city's application for federal grants received from HUD. These grants, including CDBG and home funds, fund the majority of the affordable housing and neighborhood improvement programs implemented by the city. City has not received the financial notification of the awards yet for next fiscal year. This MO approves the plan as Abby presented, or as Community Development Director Abby Shelton presented at our last meeting.
Thank you. And CBG, what's that mean?
Community Development Block Grants.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion from the commission? Okay, hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Ms. Davis, 8B, please.
Municipal Order 16-2022, a municipal order authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a mutual aid and assistance agreement between the City of Owensboro and Hopkins County Fiscal Court, introduced and publicly read for approval on one reading this third day of May 2022.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve this. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. City Manager?
The City of Owensboro sent staff to Bowling Green, Mayfield, and Hopkins County in the aftermath of the December tornado. These communities can submit reimbursement to us and to be reimbursed by FEMA for costs associated with these efforts. However, doing so requires we have a mutual aid agreement with the jurisdiction. A mutual aid agreement is just what it sounds like. It's an agreement that one party will send assets to the other in a time of need. Bowling Green has an agreement in place that will suffice, but Hopkins County does not. So this municipal order authorizes a mutual aid agreement with Hopkins County necessary for them to reimburse us and for them to submit for reimbursement from FEMA for our staff time in that community following the tornado.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
I just had one quick question. So what staff did we send to Hopkins County? I know we went to Mayfield, but was it fire?
I believe Hopkins County was communications manager Kelsey Ray who went. They were fielding a lot of media inquiries in that area, and so she went for, I believe, a full week to Hopkins County to help there and in Dawson Springs.
Thank you. And thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. City Manager comments, 9A.
This afternoon, for your consideration, we have the following personnel appointments. Tony Hernandez, probationary full-time, non-civil appointment to refuse truck driver with sanitation, effective May 8th. John Berry, probationary full-time, non-civil service promotional appointment to construction inspector with engineering, effective May 8th. Kevin DeRosset, regular full-time, non-civil service appointment to deputy director of public works with the Public Works Department, effective May 9th. And Bryson Morrow, regular full-time, non-civil service appointment to recreation facilities manager with Parks and Rec, effective May 10th.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve these appointments. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion from the dais or the city manager? You good? Okay. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 9B is city manager comments.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mayor. No additional comments tonight.
You're welcome. Communication from elected officials. Commissioner Glenn.
Just a couple of things. The first is that attended the Labor Memorial event on the courthouse lawn. It's always important to remember that every day somebody goes to work, like police and fire, they have the risk of not coming home. 156 Kentuckians died. They go through an entire order of the names. They read all the names and ring a bell. And a vast majority of them, probably a third, were folks who were in the candle factory at Mayfield on the night of that tornado. The second is attended 2 outdoor events, the Arbor Day celebration that we had at what's now going to become Anita Sleep Park. And then a few days earlier, I'd been there for the Deep Beds planting, which was a lot of fun with kids and various community stakeholders. So it's great to be able to get outdoors and be with a group of people and do something community-centered. So I want to thank all that put that together and organized it.
Commissioner Pro Tem Maglinger.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
I also attended the Arbor Day celebration, and it was really a good turnout. Got to plant 15 trees. I want to thank the Northwest Neighborhood Alliance and Owensboro Black Expo and the Southern Star for partnering with the city. It was a great event, and thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Castleton.
Yes, likewise, I attended both of those events. We missed you there, Mayor, and understand why you weren't there. Commissioner Maglinger tried to fill your shoes, but I got to tell you, Didn't quite make it.
I wear 14s, he wears 9.
Yeah, see what I mean? Anyway,
Mark.
It was a good time at both events. A lot of participation in the community, and kind of like Commissioner Glenn said, the kids out there planting the plants for the community gardens was really exciting, always is. And the 15 crepe myrtles in Monetta Sleep Park are going to be beautiful. Give them a couple years, and they're really going to make a huge difference there. And wanted to thank our Parks Department and the grounds crew for all they've done for the park over there also, and the city itself for focusing on helping build that park up. Thank you.
You're welcome. Commissioner Sanford.
Just a couple things, Mayor. I just wanted to mention Saturday I was going down the bypass and I noticed our softball fields were full, and they looked great. And those kids, I could actually see from my car how much fun they were having. And it just goes to show how many people and families come to Owensboro for youth sports. That's why I feel it's pretty important that we look at the indoor facility too, and what we might be able to do with that type of situation. I really think that as a lot of us up here have been around sports a lot of our lives, how many people would actually come to Owensboro and really enjoy what we've created here. So I think it's something that we really need to take a look at. And that's all I've got.
Thank you. I just want to thank everybody for their kind prayers and thoughts. Barbara's mom, Mary All, passed last week, and you all were very kind and compassionate about wishing her best, and I just want everybody to know how much we appreciate it. And quite honestly, I've been to so many things the last 2 weeks, I can't remember what they were. So I'm going to move on to item 11, open public forum. Members of the audience are invited to address the City Commission on any matter of public concern that was not on tonight's agenda. Comments are limited to issues within the scope and responsibility of this commission. Commission meetings are held to conduct city business for the benefit of Owensboro citizens and taxpayers. At this time, anyone who wishes to address the City Commission, please make their way to the podium to be recognized. Speakers must state their name and address for the clerk's record and limit the remarks to 3 minutes or less. Since the item is not on the agenda, no response is required from city staff or the commission. The mayor reserves the right to extend the time of the speaker. So if anybody would like to speak from the public, they're welcome to go to the podium.
Good evening. My name is Eric Hagan. Address is 1570 Fogle Road. I'm here tonight. I think it's a great way to piggyback what Commissioner Sanford just mentioned about the indoor facility. I coach volleyball at Kentucky Wesleyan, have been the head coach since 2014. I have been active in local clubs, junior Olympic volleyball, which means elementary, middle school, all the way up to high school kids. I, along with others here tonight, we have 2 local clubs being represented tonight. AVA, Audubon Volleyball Association, OVC, Owensboro Volleyball Club. There are 2 other clubs that are in Owensboro. I kind of speaking for everybody here, but gym use is not readily available. AVA uses a facility right downtown, which used to be the Executive Inn Racquetball Club. If you have been through there after snowfall or rain, you will know. You absolutely do. So I fully support us having an indoor facility. I know they do as well. And almost everybody that I've talked to, from club directors, club coaches, parents, are all in favor of it. volleyball kind of gets pushed to the side, from the big round the big round basketball or the outdoor sports. Jack C. Fisher Park is a wonderful place. And it was full this past weekend, and it's a great site. So just going by how many teams are present for that, and those parents that are in the hotels with their kids, restaurants that are being eaten. OVC is hosting an AAU Super Regional this weekend in Owensboro. I don't recall the amount of teams that they're going to have in it, but those teams are coming from all over, in hotels, obviously the restaurants, and anything else around our community, stores that are going to be accessible. The volleyball community is a very big community. If you've ever had the opportunities to travel out of Owensboro to Louisville, Paducah, Hopkinsville, their facilities bring in a lot of teams and a lot of money. So I fully support having an indoor facility, because those other cities that are bringing those teams in to host these tournaments, what they're doing is awesome. But that's just one tournament. And if you have an indoor facility, you could host tournaments in January all the way through the 1st of May. Just to say it's one a month. Like, I did the numbers, but I know I don't want to run over my time, but there is a lot of money that this community can make, not just from the entry fees to the clubs that are hosting the tournament, hotels, food, all of that. Parents are going to do everything they can for their kids. And if they enjoy playing a sport, and especially volleyball, they're going to go all in on it. And will quickly add before I close out, volleyball is the #1 high school sport for females. So it's a sport that gets quickly overlooked, and for obvious reasons. But I, as a volleyball coach, am not just a coach for a Division II college, but I'm an ambassador for the sport, and having to speak for local clubs, I value that. And it's just a quick thing. Kentucky Wesleyan's hosting our KWC Invitational down at the Convention Center September 2nd and 3rd, last weekend of Friday After 5. I've already spoken to those coaches at those schools. They're coming from as far as northern Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arkansas, and we're trying to work with Pamela Canary as far as the trolley, but we're encouraging them to visit Friday After 5 when they come in on Thursday afternoon and are here all day on Friday playing and all day Saturday. So we love the fact that we can use the convention center. But if we have another indoor sports facility that offers 5, 6, 7, 8 volleyball courts and basketball courts, it would be tremendously successful. I have no doubts. And I would offer my assistance and help in any way, shape, or form to make sure that we're bringing teams in. So I thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Coach. Anybody else?
Good evening. My name is Daniel Goodwin. I live here in Owensboro at 1517 Her Avenue. And I agree with the gentleman. I really didn't come to talk about that, but I've driven the bus for KWC. I currently drive for Brescia. And just being around the kids, being around the different ball teams, I've become a big volleyball fan. I was kind of like watching volleyball on TV, and I'm like, yeah, but when you see it and you're there, it's intense. So anyway, I agree with all he said. My comments this evening are concerning the English Park area, which is where I live. And we've recently had, which you know, some homeless activity down there that was dealt with. And that has been, we appreciate that. As a community down there, we appreciate that. And I've lived there since '93. So we've seen a lot of improvements. As a matter of fact, Wayman Morris came and talked to me about some of the improvements that were going to be there back in the day. And we've seen a lot of those things come to pass. But our big concern now is those things, and I'm speaking for myself and some of the neighbors there, and those things have been very, helpful, but there's still more work that needs to be done. One issue that brings, excuse me, a concern to me is there was a facility that's being built that I really don't have a lot of understanding about. I know it's going to be a girls' dorm for underage homeless girls, something other, the state police, and the city was involved in that. And I think it's a good thing. But with that said, the residents there, to my knowledge, were not informed of that facility being built. With some of the activities that go on down there, that may be a stumbling block for the young women that come in there. There's still a lot of homeless traffic down there. And I'm all for homeless help. I'm for that. I mean, we help those people all the time. We give them money, we give them help, we give them advice, all those things. So I'm not anti, don't get me wrong there. But I do think it needs to be governed, and I think it needs to be there needs to be some type of oversight on there. We ask for police assistance many times on things that happen, from first aid that needs to be done, or altercations, or drug activity. I'm trying to think of a term to say, but it's a very strong drug presence there. And with that happening, and you got a young girls group coming in that's going to be there amongst all of that, there's prostitution. I mean, from A to Z, there's still a lot of activity down there. There is, and this is, I'm sure it's been documented with the police department. They went down there and did some excavation there on the bank where some of the homeless activity were living. All they did was just move to a different portion of the bank. So it gave them more view of the river is what it did. Because they're still there. They still go in there by droves. And some of those folks I know are coming from out of town. A lot of the people that we come in contact with are not from Owensboro. And how they get here, I've heard stories, blah, 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 about how they get here, and other cities will bring them here for maybe treatment, and they go to day one of treatment, and then they're on the street, and that's it. So I'm just trying to make you aware of that, and our concern as a citizen there. It causes problems with our property. It causes problems with people getting in our trash and just destroying things, leaving trash, which is Public Works has to take care of that. Local citizens have to take care of that. And I think it's something that needs to have more investigation done. And especially when we're going to move in a group of treatment folks, I think the citizens need to know that.
Okay.
I never was, informed of that. So anyway, there's an issue there. I appreciate you guys looking into it. I have one more comment, if you don't mind. This is not about that. It's about the new bridge. And that is the lights that are on the new bridge. We have a lot of problem with them. On the upstream side, seems like every time I'm driving down Second, half of the lights don't work.
Yeah, we think we've heard that before.
Oh, have you? Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. This is my first visit. So
that's all right.
But anyway, I just want you to know that I know those things have to be dealt with, warranty issues and whatnot.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
lights go out in my house, and I don't get to them very quick too. So
Thank
you very much.
Thank you for coming in. Anyone else? Okay. Next item on the agenda, the commission will go into closed session under KRS 61.810, parentheses 1, close parentheses, parentheses B, close parentheses, for discussion on the future acquisition or sale of real property by public agency. Could I have a motion to enter into closed session, please?
So moved.
Could I have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries, and we do not anticipate any action being taken from the following closed session.